Hey guys, Brian Bertrim here. I'm bringing you the Fairwinds market report. This is spring. Happy spring. I hope things are going good. I want to kind of dive right into this so you guys can get a really good idea in terms of what's going on really in your neighborhood. And let's just do that. I'm going to kind of get right into this as fast as possible. So essentially what this is, I'm live on the MLS. This is showing you the number of available homes currently on the market. And let's just kind of expand this out. It looks like currently right now there's 13 homes. Now that's really broken down over all single families. So that's currently what's there now. And if we're just going to break this down a little bit more, because I'm going to add on the conditional solds and just to kind of see what's been happening there in the last week or so. So it looks as though right now there's 3 conditionally sold. So things are starting to happen in the neighborhood. They range in price. Now you can't include these rentals, but if do you have a rental property and you're kind of interested, there's currently 2 rentals that are, one's listed at $1,695 and one's listed at $2,000. Now, I think one's a single-family home and detached, and one is a townhome. So you can get a townhome in there for around $1,600 and a full detached house for around $2,000. A little bit different. So both 3 bedrooms. The current on the market, if I kind of do a range on here, I'm just going to break it down the other direction so we can see. Right now, there's a home at 716 Riverfront Crest Court, at 549.9, and it's been on the market. It looks like just came on. We're going to just take a quick look at this. It was listed, I guess on the 21st. So we're seeing prices anywhere from 716 Riverfront now at the. It looks like it just came down. They brought the price down a little bit for 549.9. And we're seeing all the way down to the townhomes. The first townhomes, if you guys have townhomes in there, are starting right now in at 339. And this is 316 Stella. And so the range on single family detached is everywhere from 549 now down to 429 on Kilo. And we can take a look at some of those, but I think more importantly, and look at kind of what's been conditionally selling are obviously the townhomes in there. This one at 326 and 1033 Palmero at 324, and then another one at Mendocera at just under 300,000. But now let's take a look at kind of what's been selling in there the last 2 months, because big part of my report here is to kind of give you an idea of what really things are selling for. And we're just going to go back right now to the 1st of March, and we're going to go right now to the end of April. So the sort of the last, almost the last 2 months. And if I'm going to make sure, they're all sold. So we've actually had 12 sales in there in the last, looks like in the last 45 days. That's pretty good. So things have been starting to sell. Like I say, market's kind of getting out there. The range on sold properties anywhere from 529. So we're seeing the highest price. But we're going to kind of jump through those now in case. I'll just call out the address, because if you guys have an address close to this, it's 406 Brigantine. Asking price was 529. And it actually sold for 520, so fairly close to asking. It sold in 19 days on market. Lots of times I'll look at, you got to take off the first 5 or 6 days, because that's the time it takes for people to go out and find it. So if you really look at it, it's sold for roughly 14, 15 days on market. That's pretty good. So let's take a look at the next one. This is another single family. I can't even pronounce the name. 499.9 was the asking at 30 Escalania, and it sold for 486. So 499, 46, within $5,000 of asking. That's pretty good. Looks like 420 Brigantine sold. Asking was 428.8. Good, interesting name price, and 478.8. So literally they got 478.8. 478.8. They got asking. That shows you kind of where the market's going. So that actually happened at really, looks like things firmed up right at the end of March. So literally the end of March was a real hot time, not only there, but throughout big parts of Canada. So 459.9 at 623 Rose Hill, and selling was 459. So again, right up there at asking. Everybody's starting to get asking now. So it doesn't hurt to kind of get your home fixed up a little more, and you're going to come really close to asking. So 499.9, 458, 449, 458. Actually, $5,000 or $10,000 over asking. That's pretty good. So it shows you where the market's kind of driving into your neighborhood. 36 Vendavale, 434.9, 425. Again, pretty close to asking. 318 at 814A Campobello, 307. So again, within 10K of asking, it's pretty good. 279, 270. 114 Grenadine, 282. 279, 282. So again, $3,000 we're asking. You kind of see what's going on in there. That shows you kind of where the market's going. And the last home currently on the market that's sold, and it just sold a few weeks ago at 137 Grenadine. The asking was 265, and it sold for 258. So again, within $7,000 of asking, it was 51 days on market. But I expect that a lot of that happened. Yeah, look, so it actually firmed up actually on March the 1st. So that was one of the early ones, and it's going to close in another week or so. So that was kind of one of the first ones, and I think that's kind of why, because the market really kicked in just in the last week and a half or so. That's a little bit of kind of what's going on in Fairwinds. I'm going to update you a lot more. Thanks very much for checking out this report, and I will talk to you guys soon. Feel free to reach out anytime.